Wild, unpredictable, and unforgettable, Mayhem Miller tore through the MMA scene with a storm of energy that few could match. Long before controversies, he was the spark that electrified crowds, breaking the mold of what it meant to be a fighter. This is the untamed, legendary ascent and dramatic downfall of Mayhem Miller. Early life and beginnings in MMA. Mayhem Miller, born Ron Miller, grew up in a tough environment that shaped his fighter's spirit from an early age. Raised in a neighborhood where challenges were constant, he found an escape through discipline and combat sports. Starting with wrestling and boxing in his teens, Mayhem quickly developed a passion for mixed martial arts. His early training focused on building a versatile skill set, blending striking with grappling. Driven by determination and raw talent, he began competing in smaller regional circuits, learning from each fight. Those formative battles laid the groundwork for his explosive style and set the stage for his chaotic career inside the cage. The origin of the Mayhem nickname. The moniker Mayhem was earned through Miller's wild and relentless approach in the cage, a reflection of his unpredictable fighting style. His early matches were marked by high-energy aggression and a willingness to take risks, often causing chaos for opponents who weren't prepared. Trainers and fans noticed how his fights rarely followed a conventional script. Each bout resembled a storm of striking and scrambles. The nickname captured his essence perfectly, a fighter who thrived in disorder and left crowds on the edge of their seats. Mayhem became more than a nickname. It was a brand symbolizing disruption and intensity. Breakthrough fights and rise to prominence. Mayhem's rise in MMA began with a string of impressive victories in regional promotions where his explosive power and aggressive tactics caught attention. His breakthrough came with a notable upset win against a seasoned veteran, showcasing his ability to compete at a higher level. This victory opened doors to larger organizations and more challenging opponents. Mayhem's reputation for delivering entertaining, action-packed fights helped him build a loyal fanbase and secure contracts with top-tier promotions. These pivotal matches were crucial in elevating his status from a regional prospect to a recognized contender in the global MMA community. Fighting style and signature techniques. Known for his aggressive, brawling style, Mayhem specialized in overwhelming opponents with relentless pressure and unpredictable strikes. His fighting combined a mix of boxing power punches with quick takedowns, creating constant threats both on the feet and the ground. What set Mayhem apart was his ability to mix chaotic combinations with sudden timing shifts, catching opponents off guard. His signature moves included heavy overhand rights and unexpected ground and pound attacks that often ended fights early. While sometimes criticized for being reckless, his style embodied raw energy and unyielding tenacity, making every fight a showcase of physical grit and unorthodox tactics. Key victories and championship wins. Throughout his career, Mayhem secured several significant wins that defined his legacy as a fierce competitor. Notable victories came against top-ranked fighters, demonstrating his capability to rise to the occasion under pressure. He claimed championship titles in prominent regional organizations, solidifying his place in MMA history. These wins often featured dramatic finishes, including knockouts and submissions that highlighted his versatility. Mayhem's championship bouts were marked by intense battles, with each victory adding to his reputation as a dangerous and unpredictable force. Mayhem in Icon Sport and SuperBrawl. Mayhem Miller's performances in Icon Sport and SuperBrawl showcased his raw intensity and fearless approach to competition. These regional promotions gave him critical exposure and experience, where he quickly became known for delivering high-action bouts. In SuperBrawl, Mayhem gained a reputation for wild exchanges and explosive finishes, which captured fans' attention. Icon Sport further pushed his development, testing his adaptability against skilled opponents. These stages were crucial for refining his aggressive style and building his confidence. The chaotic energy he brought to these events established him as a rising force in MMA, setting the foundation for his transition to more prominent organizations. Tenure and challenges in the UFC. Mayhem's UFC stint was marked by both promise and struggle as he faced the sport's elite fighters. Joining the UFC spotlight intensified the pressure, demanding higher levels of discipline and consistency. Although he impressed with flashes of his trademark aggression, he encountered tough opponents who exploited weaknesses in his technique and strategy. His UFC tenure revealed the challenges of balancing showmanship and effectiveness in the world's top promotion. Injuries and mixed results hindered his momentum, leading to a turbulent run. Career highlights: outside the UFC, Dream, Strikeforce, etc. Outside the UFC, Mayhem's career flourished with notable appearances in organizations like Dream and Strikeforce. These promotions allowed him to face international and highly skilled fighters, further broadening his experience. In Dream, he displayed resilience and quick finishes that delighted global audiences. Strikeforce offered intense matchups where he balanced his aggressive style with improved technique, scoring significant wins. These platforms showcased his versatility and ability to adapt against varied fighting styles. Successes in these arenas enhanced his reputation, proving he could compete beyond the UFC's confines and maintain his status as a thrilling and dangerous competitor on the international MMA stage. Famous rivalries and memorable opponents. Mayhem's career featured intense rivalries that fueled some of his most unforgettable fights. Battles with opponents known for contrasting styles often highlighted his willingness to engage aggressively, resulting in memorable exchanges. His matchups against veteran fighters brought both triumphs and setbacks, each rival pushing him to evolve. These rivalries were defined by dramatic momentum shifts and emotional stakes, often polarizing fans and observers. Each opponent brought unique challenges, testing Mayhem's endurance, skill set, and mental toughness. These clashes remain etched in MMA history for their excitement and unpredictability, defining crucial chapters of Mayhem Miller's turbulent career. Personality, media presence, and popularity. Mayhem Miller's larger-than-life personality made him a standout figure both inside and outside the cage. Known for his bold, outspoken nature, he connected with fans through candid interviews and social media, building a devoted following. His charisma and willingness to embrace controversy amplified his media exposure, making him as famous for his persona as his fighting. This strong presence helped him cross into entertainment beyond MMA, including acting and podcast appearances. Struggles with controversy and chaos outside the cage. Mayhem Miller's life outside MMA was marked by frequent controversy and legal trouble. His unpredictable behavior led to multiple arrests, including high-profile standoffs with law enforcement and various assault charges. Public incidents highlighted a personal battle with control and stability, overshadowing his athletic achievements. Media coverage of these episodes revealed underlying issues with mental health and impulse management. His off-cage reputation quickly shifted from celebrated entertainer to cautionary tale, with each incident eroding opportunities in both sports and broadcasting. These personal struggles became defining aspects of his identity, complicating efforts to rebuild his career or maintain relationships in the MMA world. The decline, injuries, losses, and career setbacks. In the latter stages of his career, Mayhem faced persistent injuries that affected both preparation and performance. Recurring physical setbacks led to a string of losses, as diminished athleticism left gaps in defense and stamina. High expectations clashed with underwhelming results, eroding confidence and opportunities in major promotions. Failed comebacks highlighted the cumulative toll of years spent absorbing punishment in intense fights. The widening gap between Mayhem's potential and his actual performances fueled speculation about whether he could ever return to top form. The combination of physical decline and mounting defeats ultimately signaled a sharp downturn in his once promising career. The final fights and career-ending moments. Mayhem's last bouts were marked by irregular training camps, late cancellations, and abrupt organizational exits, reflecting mounting instability. His diminished sharpness was evident as he struggled to keep pace with younger, well-prepared opponents. One-sided defeats and controversial behavior inside the cage prompted regulatory bodies and promotions to distance themselves. The absence of a definitive farewell match underscored the tumult of his closing chapter in MMA. Fans witnessed a dramatic shift from the fighter they cheered to a figure burdened by exhaustion and unpredictability. These final moments encapsulated the consequences of relentless aggression meeting unavoidable decline. Life after fighting, coaching, podcasting, and acting. In retirement, Mayhem sought various avenues to channel his charisma and fighting knowledge. He engaged in coaching, hoping to guide young talent through the challenges of combat sports, sharing lessons learned from both triumphs and setbacks. Podcasting became a platform to tell his story, discuss MMA culture, and connect with listeners through humor and honest reflections. He occasionally appeared in acting roles, leveraging his distinctive persona to stay in the public eye. While transition wasn't always smooth, these pursuits illustrated his effort to remain relevant, contribute to the sport, and move beyond past chaos into new chapters. Mayhem Miller's legacy is a wild tale of brilliance and chaos, proving that the world of MMA is as unpredictable as its most infamous fighters. Thanks for joining the journey through his rise and fall. Let his story be a reminder that in fighting, as in life, anything can happen.